Well, indeed they are. Sumita also had a quick conversation, in fact, with Ishaan Thakkar, a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, on venture capital's take on AI. He spoke about the US VC's ecosystem thriving due to artificial intelligence. Listen in.
Thanks very much, Ishaan, for taking the time out and speaking to us here on ET Now. I do understand that you help Indian companies establish a presence here. You guide Indian companies that are looking for presence in the US in light of how the India-US ties have progressed. What is it that Indian companies are asking for, are prioritizing, especially when it comes to sort of, capitalizing on this India-US tech corridor?
Great question. I think Indian companies are looking for guidance, primarily in regulatory issues. I think, the US is a big defense customer. The US government buys a lot of technologies. I think, it's tough for Indian companies to sell in the market, right? So they're primarily looking for, how to establish themselves, what players to talk to, the right partnerships to strike, who to talk to.
Okay. What's really the sense as far as the VC ecosystem is concerned? Because there is, of course, two wars that are currently going on. The West Asia war, one doesn't really know when it's going to end. You have the tariffs issue that's created some sort of trade disruptions all across the globe, which is weighing heavily on the global economy as well. So in all of this, how is risk capital getting deployed?
Key question. So I think, the wars are really underscoring the need for, more investment in India's own defense industrial base, in, homegrown IP and technologies. And so as far as we're concerned as an investor, I think it makes our mission, more important.
Well, that's all the time we have on this very special edition of Startup Central. That's, in fact, all the time that Sumita has been able to cover in terms of key conversations for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, viewers. Stay with us here on ET Now. More action to follow.